As the thumbnail and title entails, today we'll be talking about first impressions. This is a bid to try to ascertain if first impressions can be trusted to accurately judge a person's character. Personally, I always make an effort to make a very good first impression. But does that necessarily mean that I'm a good person? I guess not really. But this is the case because people tend to judge you based on your first impression and never really take the time to reassess or re-examine that impression over time. If a person has a bad first impression of you, chances are they will hold that impression of you forever. Unless, of course, proven otherwise. But most times you never get a second chance at making the right impression. I personally take my first impression of people very lightly because I am not ignorant to the possibility of some social maneuvers. It's just like going on a date for the first time with a lady you met on social media. She would not be comfortable enough to show her true self to a total stranger. So she puts on a mask of a nice, pretty, calm, down to earth lady, only for you to find out over time that she's a lot more. A lot of people take advantage of first impressions to come into your life by exaggerating their good qualities because there is a little bit of good in everybody. But in the course of the first impression, they exaggerate these good qualities to make you feel like they are all rosy without thorns. It's safe to say that first impressions cloud your judgment because over time you tend to disregard the excesses of the person with whom you have a very good first impression with and overlook every single thing they do wrong just because you believe that there's a better person in them that you have seen and you want to harness and bring out. If this is a manipulative person, chances are you've fallen for their trap. I think it's not advisable to like a person totally or hate a person just because of the first impression you have with them, because you guys started off on the wrong foot. There is always a bit of good in everybody and there's always a bit of bad in everybody. So you should take your time to see the good in them as much as the bad in them before deciding to know that, okay, take for example, when I met my girlfriend, she did not like me because she felt like I was a jerk. I've asked a lot of people about their first impression of me, and most of them said that I was a jerk at first, which I might correctly be, but a handful of them have come to know my true personality and my kind of person. So it's advisable to give chance for your impression of a person to grow with time. Personally, I'm of the opinion that you should never ever have an impression of anybody because as soon as you have a particular impression of a person, it sticks. And if you like this person, you will never really see this person for who they truly are. That also goes for if you hate this person. I have friends and a handful of people I love, but my love for you does not have to cloud my judgment of your character because if you're a good person, I should be able to tell if you go wrong. I should be able to spot your folly and bring it to your notice. I'd like to say that it's important to put in effort into making a very good first impression, but also not to hold your first impression of a person strongly because they might just be dragging you into their lair with a bait, and that first impression might just be the bait with which you might be caught. I would like to know what your take on this topic was actually and where you fall in. Do you judge people with your first impressions and hold them without reassessing them over time? Or are you really flexible with first impressions and let people build your trust over time? I would like you to comment in the comment section so I can know what you think about this and where you fall in within the spectrum. So if this is your first time of checking out my YouTube channel, I would like you to subscribe and use the notification bell to get information when I post videos like this. Likewise, if you're a returning viewer, I would like to thank you for showing up today to check out this video, and I'll urge you to drop a like on this video so it gets more reach. Thank you, and that will be all for today.